They actually got their 6-year hiatus.
Exactly, one way or another.
But the thing that I think that we all kind of learned about on this movie was time and letting things sit and age. You know, everything Derek does is kind of slow. Even when
including making this movie.
Even when even when he leaves you a message, he sounds like the big guy from Boys to Men, and he's like, "Hey, yo, Ryan, it's Derek. Just give me a call, man." And he or if he makes a soup that he calls an all-day soup, and he starts in the morning and it's not done until the night time, and it's pretty damn good soup. I gotta be honest. He makes 6-hour chicken. Takes 6 hours to make that chicken.
Derek, feel free to offer a rebuttal to any of this.
I like that guy, Justin Wilson, the Cajun chef, you know, the guy who wears suspenders in the belt. You remember him? His one of his philosophies as a chef was the longer it cooked, the better it tastes.
Well, and speaking of that, talk a little bit, because I don't know if everyone here knows, this is a movie that was 12 years in gestation, and I think 60. You said you were telling me backstage you had 67 versions of the script. You've lost count at one point. Talk a little bit about developing it and your own life circumstances. Of course, you're writing and developing a movie about relationships and marriage, and you went through some of your own changes that way. Talk about how that worked.
Yeah, I mean, the 12 years that it took to make the film, it was definitely frustrating, to go through that, but it was a blessing, because 12 years ago, I certainly wasn't ready to make this film. It was a different film back then. But yeah, over the last 12 years, practicing as a documentary filmmaker and just getting all that experience under my belt, and then, life experience, being married myself and having two children, and just, this movie, hinges on kind of, honesty and authenticity and real moments. And so in order to tell a story about a married couple, I think I needed to be married. Not that I used that, Shannon, to...
Is she here?
No.
She want a rebuttal?
It's not really like us, though. It's not me.
It's a different relationship. Michelle, speaking of the authenticity, I'm curious, you're so good in those scenes with the Frankie character. I'm wondering if being a mother helped you or informed how you approached the role.
I mean, it informs everything that I do, but I think I know I'm a very different parent.
Fair enough. On the producing side, Lynette, Jamie, Alex, if you want to weigh in on this, I know it's so hard to get an indie movie made and to get it made in the way that you'd like. Obviously, you did that, and then had the Weinstein Company came in and supported the movie, bought the movie out of Sundance. But wondering if you could elaborate a little bit on some of the struggles and tribulations. Ultimately, there's a happy ending, but I know there's probably a few bumps in the road. How did this all unfold?
I mean, of all the movies I've made, there's been none that have been as hard as this one to bring to fruition. I mean, we've joked that we could write a book about, everything that could have gone wrong, and not for any real reason either. I mean, there was just so many false starts, and I feel like we've actually prepped the movie a few times, like really prepped the movie, and we've sold the movie to different people. We've had it set up with different financiers. There was periods where Ryan and Michelle were unable to do the movie for other projects, and so we thought about recasting it, and it just never, and that was never going to be right. And I think ultimately, for us, we just have an unwavering passion and belief in this script and in Derek, and when you feel that way as a producer, you have to do everything you can to get the movie made. And we were saying on yesterday's panel that there wasn't a day in the last 5-6 years that the three of us weren't on the phone. I mean, every day figuring out, like, even doing other movies in between, like, how do we continue to get this film made? And
Lynette was on the phone from her honeymoon in Bora Bora, literally like during Christmas.
I was. This is true. I was.
Yeah, I think, this film really, lived with all of us. With Ryan and Michelle as well. But we, as producers, we really, that's right. We spent every day trying to figure out a way to how to get this movie made. And we did have so many stops and starts for no specific reason. It was never because the project wasn't right. It was just because of, even in the last year before we made the movie. Derek originally set the movie in Hawaii 12 years ago, and then it was Florida, and then it was other places, but in the last year we were, yeah, damn, how did we not let it Hawaii?
Slightly different tone in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. But even in the last year, we were supposed to shoot the movie in Morro Bay, California, we went up and scouted that with Ryan. Ryan brought his little, ukulele and walked around the streets of Morro Bay and played as we scouted, Charm the Mayor. And we were starting there. The ocean and the blue water was a very big character.